Welcome to the wonderful A minor 7 chord. This is pretty cool. This is neat. Watch how this works. Go ahead, make an E7 chord. Oh yeah, well that's easy. You know how to make an E7 chord. Now hopefully it's getting a little easier. So let's make that E dominant 7 chord. There we go. There it is. There it is. Remember, you make an E major chord, remove the third finger from the D string, and you have E dominant 7. Now, here's what we're going to do. We are going to move the shape that we have, this shape right here. We are going to move this shape to the next set of adjacent strings that way. That's all it is. So this guy's parked on the A string street. This finger right here is parked on the G string street. And we're just gonna hop over a street. Ready? So how do we do that? This finger, the second finger moves to the second fret of the D string. And this person over here, your Mr. First Finger, is going to jump over to the B string. And you give it a strum. We'll worry about that strumming hand in a second. This is an A minor 7 chord. There it is. It's the same shape as an E dominant 7. Isn't that convenient? I love that. And it says something completely different than an E dominant 7. All we did is just change strings. We parked them on a different street. That's all. And you come up with this whole new world. So, E7, move them over. There they jumped. To A minor 7. There it is. There it is. That's great. Now, strumming hand. Technically, really what we want to do is plant that guitar pick on the A string, on the 5th string, and strum from there. Since it's an A minor 7, A is the root of the chord. The root is the name of the chord. We can play A major, A minor 7, A minor 7 sus whatever. It doesn't matter. We can play A dominant 9. The colors are staggering, and we'll get into all that. For right now, this is an A minor 7, and we're going to start with the root on the 5th string. It's the name of the chord, and we want to put that bass note on the bottom. How does that work for E? Well, when we make an E dominant 7 chord, or just an E chord, let's make an E chord. This is the low E string, remember? The low E string, one closest to your chin. That's the low E string. Well, that's also the name of this chord. That's the name of the chord. Low E is in the bass. That's the bottom note of this chord. That's the root. That's what it's based off of. That's the root. E major, low E. Same thing with the A chord. We want that A to be in the bass. That's the bass note. That's the lowest note. The bass note's the lowest note. So we put that right there, and then we strum our A minor 7. There we go. Now, the good thing about the A minor 7 chord, it's very forgiving. If you find yourself accidentally hitting that low E string, the beauty of it is E is a part of an A minor 7 chord. When we spell out our chords, we have A minor 7, we have A, C, E, G. Well, that E is a part of that chord. We can get into all that later. But for now, if you can, as you practice, what the goal is to put that pick on the A string and strum down through the 5 strings, all 5 strings, or those 5 strings. We want to leave this low E out of it if we can. What you'll see happening with me is, and I didn't develop this for years, but I'll let you know because you'll see it. You're smart, you're observant, you're bright, and you'll catch it, and you'll say, Chris, your thumb is up over the neck. Yes, it is. There's the thud, there's a thud. So when I'm strumming, I'll do it with my thumb here. When I'm strumming, my thumb works its way over. Now, this guitar neck is a little wider. This is a nylon string guitar. It's a classical guitar. Electrics, they have thinner necks, and you'll see my thumb over that thing all the time. But that adds as a thumb, and then I don't have to necessarily be as precise with my strumming. And besides, sometimes that thud or that click really it has an interesting sound. So takeaway message here is A minor 7, A is in the root, that's our goal, that's what we're striving for. Strumming from the 5th string down, and this is the form. You have E7, you move them over to the next set of adjacent strings, you strum from the 5th string, that A string down. That's what we're after. Try to develop that, and it will begin to happen automatically. Before you go to the play section, even give that a shot. Put that pick there. It may take a little practice, but give it a couple of strums, and then you'll find, oh, my wrist somehow just knows automatically where to go. I know that placement, and you'll learn how to feel for that, and it just becomes automatic. And the good news is, the saving grace here is, if you do accidentally hit an E on 1 out of every 10, well, that's okay. E belongs there. But if you're playing super precise music, you'll definitely want playing something like that, then we need that precision, but right now we're just strumming. So let's try to strum from that A string down, and we'll develop that. It will come into use and we'll build upon that, so take the time to try to do that now. Well, I think that's about all. That's about all for the A minor 7. So I'll see you in the play section. See you there.